Like, I'm done with the remakes, like Spider-Man 20, like done, like create a new superhero. Like,
honestly, I don't care if they keep making superhero movies because I don't watch them.
no.
Like, I just think they're all the same story all the time and they're like boring to me. I know we're gonna get a lot of hate for that because there's so many gay Marvel fans and stuff, but I'm just like, it's overplayed stuff to me.
Same. That's why I'm obsessed with like,
you know who loves
stuff.
them?
Oh,
you know who loves them? Javi.
Of course. Basic bitch. No, I'm just kidding. I have this. No, I started doing this
Javi and
thing.
Omar have this like.
I thought people would like pick up on it. And I was like, drama, fine. I'll create this like rivalry and whatnot. And nobody's picking it. Like nobody really is. So I was like,
because Javi doesn't throw anything back.
I know. That's why it's no fun. Like,
he's not shady.
That's why I'm gonna start throwing dirty punches.
I can't wait because I love seeing people fight. I don't like being involved in fights, but I like seeing people fight.
And it would be like the ratings, like you getting in the middle of it, like, oh my God, like the tension.
Yeah. I would like to see less war movies. I want to cancel war movies. Yeah. They're boring.
You're talking about like Private Ryan and this kind of
just
like
anything having nostalgia, to do with a war. Like, it's not romantic. It's not cute. People are like literally dying.
Things are happening in real life. It's like, there's no.
And they're just boring.
Yeah.
It's like boring war movies. I'd rather watch a superhero movie.
Yeah. I'm all into the Doom stuff. Like, I thought about making a video. Oh, actually, let me try something. Like, follow, subscribe. Are you familiar with the voice?
Oh, like, follow, and subscribe, y'all.
Comment. So it's like this ability that these women, the Ben and Gesserit, have, that they do this voice and they make people do stuff.
Dune's good though. Dune's good. So I actually, let's get into it.
Yes.
This is the Papiverse 2024 Wrapped Awards. We did this last year. It's going to be an ongoing thing every year.
Yeah, you did it with Javi, and I remember.
No, I did it with Mark.
Mark. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mark.
Mark is still. We're supposed to do another episode soon. Mark. He's just busy.
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
No one ever seems to like ask about Mark.
I always ask about Mark.
Every time he doesn't. Don't I? He literally does not. No, you don't.
How are they
ever? No. Mark is in Dallas, and when I record in Dallas, I record with him. But it's been a while because I've been we have not. He's been so busy, and he has like a whole family now,
like kids and stuff. Or
no, just I think he has dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I mean that's still
it's
family.
A family. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, welcome to the awards, y'all.
Yes.
So
here are the nominees.
So we have quite a few awards.
Yes.
We have we have a lot of things, from the bad bitch of the year, the bichota, most likely to succeed, most likely to fail.
We have all the categories,
and then we're gonna give each other awards.
Oh, are we? Yeah.
Yeah, I have an award for you.
Oh my God,
you're gonna love it.
I have an award for you too. Well, I don't know if it's what's the well, not an award, but not what is it called, memorable mention or like a highlight.
Fuck you, bitch. I don't know what it is, but
Sorry.
I just know it's shady.
No, it's not, but I'll tell you what is shady. I'm gonna point out, like, una lagaña en este ojo, en el izquierdo.
¿Otra?
I think that's why your eye might be. Ya no, en el otro ojo.
Oh, it's...
If I don't tell you, I'm gonna be watching the whole episode and you're just gonna see my eyes go into that. You're good now.
But I also, they're also a little crusty because of my allergies, so.
I hate allergies. You get them in the winter?
I get allergies in Texas. You get them like during the fall and you get them during spring a lot. Even summer, like Texas is like allergies almost year round. And people always say, because I was working for the airline for a while, and every single time I would meet people who came to Texas, who were moving to Texas, they were like, I never had allergies till I moved to Texas because it's so bad there. Can't wait to leave. Cannot wait to leave. I'm so ready for LA. Anyway.
Yes, let's start with our bichota. So tell me what was the bichota?
Our first award for the year is the Bichota Award. This is for the baddest bitch in the Papiverse.
Who killed it.
And we're giving it to...
You pronounce it. I can't say it.
Alphaba? Alphaba?
Gaga?
Alphaba. Well, now you're making me self-conscious. Like, should I?
I don't know. I
Am I
don't know how to
pronouncing?
pronounce.
I'm wearing
Alphaga?
green, actually.
Yes.
Because I am.
Do this. Yeah, it's all over social media. I can't get enough of it. I'm like obsessed with it.
I love her. We were thinking, we're like, let's give it to her.
Yeah,
because she was a bad bitch in the film.
it's such a and I know that it's like a lot
She was giving
yeah.
Sagittarius energy. That was very
She?
Sagittarius. Yeah. Sagittarius are all about the truth.
Yes.
They hate being fake. Not all of them, obviously, because you have a whole chart and some of them have other aspects.
Other
but,
influences.
yeah, but
It was
that's a very Sagittarius character.
It's been the whole feedback from the movie. Everybody's like, wow. Like I haven't seen one bad review, so it's very strange to see that. And
we're talking about the character,
Yes.
but I really love that character because it's like I love Sagittarius, and so I love people who will like tear everything down just to do the right thing. I don't think people. I wish more people were like that, but I don't think a lot of people realize that they're not Elphaba. You might like Elphaba as a character,
But you're
not
Elphaba.
Elphaba. You're actually in real life Galinda. You need to be more like Elphaba, and that's like a big message. We'll talk more later.
Yeah,
but
we should get those shirts. Like we should all be Alphaba, not like the shirt. Like we
be
should all be
Elphaba,
Miranda's.
be a bad bitch. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So
Yes, the
moving
next one
on.
I'm very excited about because we were gonna do like
He was really adamant about this one. He was like, I know which one I'm gonna get.
it's like ¿quién la cagó? Like who lacked the courage, the audacity, the authenticity, the kindfulness. So we're calling it Mensos o Cagados, and we were thinking of doing one of each.
Mensa cagada.
Mensa cagada, but this is like Mensos and Cagados because this is like a group. Because even this showed up on my YouTube, and like this girl that does like English reviews and deep dives, and it came up, and I was like, holy shit, like this is international now, and this is like some really juicy gossip. Like se me está haciendo agua la boca. So Ángel Aguilar and Cristian Nodal. So you've heard about this, La Roba Maridos, like
I actually hadn't heard about it until you mentioned it.
Yes, because it's been giving
because
like
Ariana Grande did the same thing.
it's very similar, but so basically like you have Cristian Nodal, one of the best singers in the moment right now in like Mexican regional music, and he's dating this girl and he's like love bombing her, and then he's like she announces her pregnancy. They have a beautiful baby girl.
They do,
and she's Argentinian singer. And then a month in after the baby's born, he's like, oh, we're separating. And then like a month later, he's like, he announces this relationship with Ángel Aguilar, which is like la hija de Pepe Aguilar. So she's like, it's like this huge family. They have a legacy. Her grandparent was like also like big singer. Her grandmother as well. So you have this powerhouses because she's also done great in the music industry. But then she comes out in an interview and she's like, oh, like nobody was hurt. We all knew about it. Everybody's cool. And then
we all knew about it.
Yes,
she's like,
and she did the interview in English, which I was like, dilo en español. Like people are not gonna translate this and find out that you're, lying in national television.
So he cheated on his wife.
The cheatation, it's questionable. He says nothing happened, but like something must have been happening for you to get into a relationship like right away.
It had to have been happening.
And there were rumors that they dated before, but like the father wasn't like really approving of that relationship when they were a lot younger, and that like there's a prenup clause that like he'll give her like 12 million if he cheats on her in the first 3 years. Which I was like, that's very specific.
So they were definitely seeing each other before, because you don't not just get married like that.
No, it's and they were trying to keep it hidden, but then it was like I thought it was like one of those rush weddings because she was pregnant. But this is why they're both like como que la cagaron, because first of all, she's speaking about somebody else's feelings. She's saying nobody got hurt. Like this is somebody who was creating a life with someone, and all of a sudden they're not together. And now she has to see you with her ex-partner, the father of her child, and now you're speaking about how nobody got hurt. So you're speaking on her emotions. And then he also came out and defended, Cristian Nodal came out and defended Angela, his wife, his now wife, saying like, stop talking about my wife, and we didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, dude, like you should like. She's the one that came out and talked about it. Like the other girl wasn't saying anything, and she came out and she said like, no. She's like, I didn't know this. I found out like everybody else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she did it really beautifully, very
well, yeah, because she's about to get child support, girl.
Yeah, and she also did it in a way that I thought it was like, you could see that she's working on herself, like the way that she was very clear about why she was speaking on it. And I think it's very fair, like somebody speaking about your relationship without your consent or about your feelings as well. So anyways, they're going to be like, it's going to take a long time before people forget this. And I love both of their music.
Are you gonna keep listening to it?
I am gonna keep listening to it.
Yeah, me too. Mensos cagados.
Yes, there you go. Congrats. Is it? I don't know if we're not congratulating them.
Congratulate,
right? Because it's they earned it.
It's an award. Yes, they earned it. Yeah, congratulations, Ángel Aguilar and Cristian Nodal.
Los cagados del año.
Los cagados del año. Yay. Yes. Son más cagados que yo. And I made a video on it. So that's how you know you're really... okay. So next up is most likely to succeed. This person we have a lot of hopes for.
Yes.
We think that they'll be ruling the world in the near future. And we're very proud of the person that they are.
You say, oh my God, I cannot pronounce anything today.
Are you...
Cynthia Erivo?
Cynthia Erivo. Damn, I can pronounce it, but when you start having trouble, I start getting like scared that I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah. My R's look like V sometimes.
Oh.
So I was like, I wrote it and I was like,
Erivo.
Erivo. Yeah, she's great.
Cynthia Erivo.
She can sing. She's done a lot of movies. She's been around, but I feel like, yes, congrats to her. She's killing it.
We're gonna pretend like she's here.
Yes. She's killing it in every red carpet.
She's doing incredible.
The jewelry, guy, like,
and she's beautiful. Yes. Like she's gorgeous. What did Doja Cat say in that song? She's like, I look better with no hair. Ugh.
Yes, and she's
like, she looks incredible. Like, I love her. I think she's beautiful. I think she's really talented. This is her huge breakout role.
Yes.
And it's going to take her far, hopefully. Yeah.
She's done a lot of musical. She's been around, and it's great to see her.
And she's queer. She's queer. She's queer.
Yes.
That's like,
and a lot of people, not a lot of people knew that, which is also like, I like that, people get, it's no longer that's like something attached to their career, but it's just like, they see her more as a singer.
I think it's really beautiful that we are living where we're living, because living at a time that we're living in, more people with so much talent are starting to come out.
Yeah.
And they're starting to be like, yeah, I'm gay. You know what I mean?
It's not a big deal.
Or I'm queer, or whatever, bisexual, non-binary, trans, whatever. And one of the things that I've mourned is that, like, we've missed out. A lot of talent has died without coming out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, for example, Whitney Houston, she was queer.
Yeah.
Okay, she was dating a woman for a long time, but society forced her into, the life that she had.
Society, yeah.
And religion and society, yeah. She was our ancestor.
Yeah.
Like, she was supposed to, people were supposed to, like, people look at her, like, whenever someone is so talented, like incredibly talented, like historically talented,
she was,
and is queer, it's always like a beacon of hope for us, right? And they took that away from us. You know what I mean? They took her too soon, and they muffled her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when I see people like Cynthia Erivo, who is like super talented, incredibly historically, classically talented, and they're like living their life unapologetically queer, like, I'm like so proud of them. I'm like, this is incredible.
It's great to see people who have that inner light be able to shine it through. And I think with Whitney was like one of those things where it's like, it's so much raw talent, so much. And I think she had a sense of like a calling that she knew. She said this, like, God, what, when she sang, it was like God speaking through her, or something. I may be wording it incorrectly, but I did it. There's that divinity, and like when your calling, or why you were, you have a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
And with Cynthia, that's why it's so sweet to see someone be able to see their, who knows their light, and be able to shine it through. And
yeah,
It's
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, and not just her, that's why whenever I see any queer person making moves and like making a mark on this earth, I'm like, I'm proud of y'all. Like, I'm so happy.
yes.
And it shows everyone who is
Yeah.
against queerness that they need us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are needed to push the world forward, because there was so much talent before that was queer that wasn't allowed to be queer. And now that's possible. It's possible to be queer and still be talented and still be seen as like an icon. They won't be able to take that away from us again.
Yeah,
So,
and to see them for their talent, not what, their sexuality or who they're dating or so that's
we're getting there. We're not there 100%.
Yeah.
We're getting there. So moving on. Cynthia, congratulations.
Congrats to Cynthia.
We love
yes.
you. You're beautiful. And moving on, most likely to fail. So this goes out to the people or person that we think more than likely will mess up or will mess everything up.
Well, I mean, they're already messing up and they haven't gotten in office.
It is the Trump administration.
Yes, the Trump administration most likely to fail. He's failed before. He's failed at everything. He's failed at selling water, steaks. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
I mean,
America loves a train wreck.
Yeah, I mean, also, I just think, like, we talked about this before. Like, I don't think that they'll get anything done because they're so incompetent. I know a couple people who are conservative and vote Republican, and they themselves have said, like, he needs to go. Like, the best thing that could happen is for him to disappear. Like, he won't get things done.
He's gonna get rid of schools, healthcare,
but he will get things undone, and that's that he'll mess a lot of things up. He probably won't progress towards any of the other goals that they have, but he'll definitely take us backwards.
Yeah, no, I'm like his first term. I was like so involved in organizations politically. Like, I was very engaged. This time I'm just like, I'm done.
I think I mean,
I'm tired.
He hired a bunch of people who are really incompetent. Like, it's like they're not. I really don't think they're.
Dancing with the Stars has a better cast than the Trump administration. Honestly, like, it's just like.
Jersey Shore had a better cast.
Yes, more capable. At least they, sold T-shirts. Or what was it?
The Housewives of Dallas had a better cast, and they got canceled. So
per season, right? I think it was. Yeah,
I mean, there's not much to do in Dallas. They're gonna cancel it.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, I just don't think. I think what scares me the most, and we've talked about this before too, is personally we've talked about it, not on the podcast, but I'm more scared of what he represents to people, to bigots.
Yes.
Because, like,
he
Omar
empowers the people.
Like, remember what you saw when you saw that couple?
Yes.
Omar was walking down the street.
Gay couple holding hands.
There was a gay couple holding hands.
Car
and this
passing
guy
by, slows down, rolls on the window, and just goes, Trump!
Yeah.
And this wasn't a white person. That was the most shocking to me. That I was like,
yeah,
dude, like, if he's coming for people, he's gonna come after you first. Like, to me, it was just like, it's like
they have the balls now to be violent towards
they feel justified.
Weird people.
They feel, yes.
Yeah, they feel justified when he's in power. And so that's why that guy drove by and rolled his window and yelled that out. They don't care, because to him, he represents the ability to cause violence to people that you don't like. And that is a fucking problem for me.
Well, the thing is, like, the ignorance that, you can't, like, you're not even being, like, homophobic successfully.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't see a straight couple and go like, Kamala, like,
anyway, but yeah, so.
And I don't, as far as like, nobody, they're all, no, it's.
You're right. Let's move on to most likely to go to heaven.
It's a great switch.
The person that we think will more than likely go to heaven is
our lovable Mudang.
Aw, he's so
Congrats
cute.
to Mudang, which his name.
If y'all don't know who that is, it's a hippo. It's a little hippo they've been doing. They've been making memes
who
of.
Keeps biting the people that feed him.
He keeps biting people, right?
Yeah, he's adorable.
He'll still go to heaven though. Yeah. He's so cute.
So it's this zoo in Thailand. They knew that there was gonna be a baby hippo. They prepared, so they kind of let's make advertise to bring in more visitors. So ever since then, the viral moments, the visits have doubled in Thailand. So it's a zoo in Thailand.
That's so crazy to me.
You know what it translates to? Bouncy pork.
Aw, that's so
like,
cute.
oh, you little chicharron.
he could bite me any day.
Yeah.
The only people that can leave me hickeys is my man
And Mudang.
and Mudang. Okay, because he's so cute.
Yes.
Everybody else, you can bite, but not too hard. It'll piss me off.
Yes.
Do you like hickeys?
No, not since high school. Where
I mean, my
was
man
like,
can. I think it's kind of hot when
in
you're
high
mad.
school, it was like, well, I mean, it feels great. Also, like I
mean like when
I do
when-
like a neck kiss, like
No, I mean like I think it's kind of hot when your man leaves you a hickey on the neck.
it is. It's like, to me, it was like when, like, in high school, it was like
I think it's
It
kind
was
of
like,
hot, but
it
it
was-
has to be my boyfriend, and it has to be like somewhat visible, but not too visible.
yeah, and it also depends where and what, because it could, if it's subtle hidden, you're just like, you see it on someone discreet, you're like, yeah, get it. But when you see them like right here and it's like all over here, and you're just like, somebody doesn't get it as often, and was like, just go off.
It's just too
It's
much.
not,
Yeah. Okay, moving on to most likely to go to hell. This person more than likely will be burning in hell if there is one, and that is Katy Perry. Woo!
Katy Perry, congrats. Yes.
Congratulations, girl.
We nominated her for different reasons.
Yeah, I nominated her because
Both are valid. Both are
because
valid.
she worked with Dr. Luke, who is obviously a sexual predator. He
Do
made
you have to say allegedly? Because, I mean, was this like
He is,
settlements
so.
or what, right? I mean,
no.
allegedly, but you can look it up.
Yeah, allegedly,
You can look it up and
because we don't want to get sued because I'm broke. But yeah, apparently, he made it hell for Kesha to get out of her label. He was sexually assaulting her.
yes.
And it was just tacky. And then she made that song about woman empowerment, but she made it with a sexual
working
predator.
with a alleged sex predator.
Girl, what are you doing? That's so tacky.
Yeah,
it's who are you really supporting other than yourself? And then and then also just the terrible music. I didn't like the song. Did you like the song?
I saw the video and I watched it like twice just because because the first time I was like, oh, it's like female empowerment, and then I saw it and I was like, hold on, maybe I'm seeing it through the wrong lens. And I was like, no, I think it's worst. And for me, I just think this is personal. She went on tour to Mexico and she did this whole like press tour, and she was doing all the TV shows. So she was fighting against Mexican humor. And it's like it's like so tacky, but it's like playful. And they had like people dancing to her music and doing her outfits, just kind of like a homage. And she was like, like it was just cringe, awkward.
I don't remember seeing that on social media.
It was.
She just looked tired.
And she was giving side eye. She was
in a bad mood.
Yeah, she was
in a bad mood.
Yeah, and it was very obvious because she was like, and then the camera, and then she was like, ha. Like it was just awkward. But I don't know if it was like her management who, like, she needed an app. She needed a nap, or she was like tired,
to
or
go to sleep for a little while,
or maybe she thought it was too much, or maybe the accommodations. I'm not sure what it was, but when you're famous and you're trying to go people to come see your show and spend their hard-earned money,
you have to do it.
It's part of you have to be gracious, and you're in another country also. Like people pay to see you and they buy your music.
They make you your money.
They've made you an
without your
international.
fans, you are nothing. So you have to put on a smile. They shouldn't be harassing you. They shouldn't be stalking you. They shouldn't be touching you if you don't want to be touched. But if they ask you for a fucking picture, take the fucking picture. You're making millions of dollars. It's an easy thing to be famous compared to working like a fucking 9 to 5, with a corporation that's like exploiting you. Like the least you could do is just take the fucking picture. Just
be
smile.
gracious. Yeah.
Be gracious. Yeah. Say things in ways that are
But it was
gracious.
cringy to watch, and I thought like, I understand the press, the shows, all of this, you have to, but
But girl, you got to do it. You want to make millions. You want to sleep on that expensive ass bed with your expensive ass sheets, with your nanny in the other room taking care of your kids when you don't have to. Like, girl, you're going to have to pay for that.
you gotta smile.
Smile. Moving on. So, next one is the person that is most likely to be in limbo because neither heaven Wait, hold on. Let me try that again. Moving on. So the next one is the person most likely to be in limbo because neither heaven or hell wants you.
Yeah.
And that goes to
Anna Delvey.
Woo, Anna.
Former scammer, artist,
con artist. Yeah.
fashion icon.
Because, heaven has gold. Heaven is supposed to have golden gates. She's gonna want to steal them.
She's gonna be scratching.
And then hell, hell is that's the devil's playground. She's gonna want to take all his toys.
Yeah, because she's also. She didn't kill anyone.
No one's gonna want her.
But
they're gonna leave her in limbo.
Yeah, and she's also one of those she's done horrible. She's done things that, but it's what is it called? Blue collar. She's basically robbed corporations, banks, scam
which
people.
I thought was genius. I love her for that. I think she's so funny. She is very charismatic, like you said.
Robbing people out of what is called Airbnbs and vacation and dinners and all of this. That's where you're a bad friend,
terrible friend.
Yeah.
But we can't talk about her without talking about
white girl kind. Privilege.
Because the fact that she could go on to Dancing with the Stars with her what's it called? With her ankle monitor. With her ankle monitor and still be celebrated. She even bejeweled it. She has jewels all over. She put glitter all over it, and she gets paid for it. She gets exalted. She gets a Netflix
special. She sold the rights to her story.
A black or brown person or any person of color that showed up with an ankle monitor would not have that kind of reception.
And the treatment also where it's almost like, oh my God, girl, you're so bad.
You're so cool.
And
oh my God, you're so bad.
Yes.
Ha ha ha, I love you. And it's a person of color would not get away with that.
Could not. They would have gotten immediately arrested, 20 years.
There's it's the amount of privilege that she gets.
Yes.
Is so easy to see. And so it's important to pay attention to that.
Yeah.
I follow her. I love her. I think she's amusing. I think she's funny.
You hate to love them.
I love that she stuck it to the man. I like it when people stick it to the man, when they screw over.
And she kind of did talk about, they're just you do bad, but you also kind of do some good.
Yeah. Because she, I told you, she also spoke about, she had an interview where she talked about how terrible they are to immigrants in jail.
In a moment where we're hearing so much about immigrants and criminals and this and that, we don't see this side of when people talk about those issues,
right? Yeah.
And it's
and she is an immigrant. She's an immigrant,
and she's a felon. And
she's a felon. And when notice when racist people talk about,
they're not talking about Anna Delvey.
They're not talking about Anna Delvey. They're talking about Mexicans. They're talking about other Latinos. They're talking about people of color. And so we have to pay attention to that because these people are celebrated for the things that we are punished for.
Correct.
So yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Miss Congeniality. This is for the most lovable queer. This year
gave us light, gave us inspiration, gave us laughter,
made me want to be her.
Uniqueness, nerve, talent, everything, and to go.
And that goes to Jules LeBron. Yay!
She's very mindful. She's very demure. She is an icon. She is the moment.
She is the moment. And she will always be the moment.
In a moment where we were just filled with mundanity and just nothing. She gave us everything that we needed.
When the sky was gray, she was the sun that parted the clouds.
And that's what I call an influencer.
She really did her thing. Yeah.
And then I watched all the other stuff, and I was like, she's just
adorable.
So she's very likable. She's
very likable, and she's from Chicago.
Yes.
Moving on. This is a Mediocrity award. The award is for someone who didn't do their best, but also didn't do their worst. They were just kind of
meh.
Como que el agua está tibia.
Yeah, I just don't think it was they didn't rise to the occasion. and everybody was applauding her left and right. And
it is for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris.
A mediocre clap because it was, I mean, the threat of democracy.
I mean, I don't like Democrats that much either.
How could you lose to a
I
felon,
don't.
an alleged rapist, a
But-
failed president? Like,
But yeah, I think her team did a terrible job. And I don't think they did the worst job, but they definitely did not do the best job.
Brad Summer, great. The kids love it. But it's as a campaign, like
Literally, it just, the wheels were falling off, girl.
her staff.
The
and-
wheels were falling off.
Yes, just the way that this campaign was right, like joy, a campaign, not joy. I'm like, we need policy. We need, like, you're telling us this guy's gonna like ruin the country, and you're just like, let's just be happy. It's joy.
Le voy a decir como me dice mi mamá. ¿Eso quieres ser? ¿Mediocre? ¿Es lo único que vas a hacer con tu vida?
Joy tus nalgas. It's like no, yeah, she didn't rise to the occasion. It was
She didn't.
She and this whole-
She didn't do her best.
This whole moment, like I'm speaking. It was like no, it was the time to listen.
Girl.
It was the
there
time
was
to
so much
listen.
she did wrong. And the thing is about all politicians can get it because politicians rule our world. So all politicians
She's not
can
gonna
get
be
it.
affected. And another thing worth mentioning, like I said, she just tone deaf. She was trying to appeal to another base. She was not gonna turn any Republicans Democrat. She needed to keep it to the base. She betrayed the base.
She didn't. She didn't listen.
Yeah.
Girl, you were supposed to be up here and you were like right here, but you weren't all the way down here, but there was definitely a lot right here. So I'm sorry, mija, pero
Yeah.
te chingaste.
And people were like, oh, she's gonna run again. I'm like, run a marathon. No, run a marathon. Anyways, I'm so done with it. Like,
El Papi del Año is the next one.
Papi del Año. Oh my
Año.
God.
Who is the Papi del Año? This award goes out to the Papi that did something that was notable for the year, and that is DJ Khaled.
No, not DJ Khaled.
Not DJ Khaled.
No, Khaled.
No, Khaled. Yeah, Khaled.
Our Papi
yeah.
of the Year, R&B singer, superstar, amazing,
Not
beautiful
DJ
voice.
Khaled.
Not DJ, and another one. No, not that one.
No, Khaled. Khaled.
Yes.
Sorry.
He was actually outed, but he came out and he's like,
He was like, "This is none of y'all's business," and I was like, "For real though."
I love that. Mind your business. That should have been like my.
The only thing is that I do support when people come out for inspiration purposes to inspire other queer people, but they don't owe us that.
They don't know us.
They don't owe us that.
At your time, whenever you want to visibility
Right,
is great,
because
but
it's still not 100% safe to
Yeah.
be queer in Hollywood, because even then they start limiting your
And I-
like reach.
and I
But
love his music, but now I'm like, now I'm gonna get the album. I'm gonna get the vinyl.
yeah. Anyway, moving on
Congrats,
to the Mami del Año. That is gonna be
Trinidad Gonzalez.
Trinidad Gonzalez.
Are you watching the show?
My little sister gave us this one. She was like, "Don't forget about her." Now I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." She is the first trans Mexican woman to star in a series, Secreto del Rio.
Secreto del Rio.
And she's just 24, by the way, and she's already like, she's also modeling. Like, it's helped her get, she's on runways in London and stuff now too. She's from Oaxaca, isn't she? And the movie was filmed in Oaxaca, which is big because Oaxaca is the poorest state, one of the poorest states in Mexico. So it's really great that they're getting like a light shown
And it's
on them.
beautiful
Yeah.
state, and this is how I knew how impactful this was, because I was in Thanksgiving dinner, and then my family started talking about the show, and I was like, to me, I was like, they're watching like a queer, like, and everybody's like, oh, like I cried, and just the response. I just shut up and I was listening because I was like, I don't want to like get my 2 cents in there, because I just wanted to see what their perception of it was.
Wow.
And I was like, I was a little bit moved to see them like enjoy some and kind of see, this is where visibility, it's like,
Yeah. That's awesome that they saw it.
yeah.
My family's not that open-minded. At least my mom and
no.
dad are.
It was very,
Yeah.
everybody was like, oh yeah, it's so beautiful. And like
That's
I cried. And so congrats to her.
Congratulations,
We wish her
mija.
much success.
We love you so much. Okay.
Following on-
The they them of the year.
yes.
So this goes to a non-binary person who did something great this year, and that goes to, maybe one day we'll have them on our show.
Oh,
That would be cool.
I would feel like such an illiterate fuck because they're so smart.
They're
the way
so
they
smart.
speak, I'm like, I've actually gotten like straight people send me their videos or clips.
They're very, very abstract, very beautiful thinkers. Oh, wait. We haven't even said who.
Alak.
Alok v. Menon.
Yeah.
They're just a really great
Poet.
icon, like, for the non-binary community. They've been doing a lot. Like, I know for a lot of people, being non-binary can be very confusing, y'all. I get it. I was very confused when I first heard about it too. I was like, I don't get it. But one of the things that actually I read in this book, it's called, we talked about it before, it's called Read This to Get Smarter. It's a really great book. It's easy to read. It's quick. It's like, it's really informational. You know how there's people who are born and in their birth certificate it says Christopher, and they're like, just call me Chris.
Mm-hmm.
And then you call them Christopher and they're like, please don't call me, I don't like my full name like that. Just call me Chris. I don't like my name. You're not like, well, on your birth certificate it says Christopher, so I'm gonna call you Christopher whether you like it or not. You don't, right?
You don't.
And
do
when
that.
you're talking about them with your friends, you don't say Christopher, you say, I was talking to Chris the other day, right? Because you don't say Christopher when you're talking about them, because their name is Chris to you, right?
Right.
And they don't like being called Christopher, and they don't like their full name, right? That's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, you don't get it, that's fine. But all they're asking you is not to call them something. That's it. And it's very much like the name thing. Like, there's people I know who their name is like whatever, like Jonathan.
Yeah.
They just want to be called Jay because they don't like Jonathan because it reminds them of like their grandfather, and they don't like their grandfather. Like, I'm not gonna start calling you Jonathan and be like, I'm gonna call you whatever I want. No, I'm gonna call you what you want to be called. It's not hard. I get it. I get when something's different, we get defensive. We feel uncomfortable.
But it's about respect.
It's really not hard.
It's respect. Some people want to be called ma'am or madame, or, you know, it's like,
I've literally called people ma'am and they're like, don't call me that. That makes you feel old.
Yeah.
Am I like, well, you are a ma'am? No, I'm just like, okay, cool. I won't call you ma'am. One time I called somebody señor and he was like, no me llames eso, no soy tan grande. It was this guy that I knew. And I was like, okay. And I just didn't call him that.
That happened to me.
It's not hard.
They call me señora now.
And if you really don't like it, then don't be around them.
Yeah.
Don't talk to them. It's not.
Yeah, it's about respect, and I think they have done a beautiful job of like educating, especially talking about like kindness and love and just true vulnerability and having freedom, and how the fight for trans folk, gay, anyone who's any other, how it really is like it's the fight for everyone, because everybody should be free to be who they are.
They're great. They're great. Look them up on Instagram. They're really great. Anyway, moving on because we don't have a lot of time. The next one is La Dramática del Año. The most dramatic person of the year.
Ariana.
The drama queen.
Yes.
Ariana Grande.
Big drama. She's just, and I mean, she
was crying in every interview. I was like, girl, now I know you can't. I know none.
And it's not necessarily negative. But it's just
she was crying in every interview though.
Yeah, I saw a couple of clips. They're like, oh my god,
you have to cry in every interview. You have to. You can't just like not.
I just feel very emotional.
It's
like so
all of them are emotional though.
Yeah, it's, you know, so and
like I have talked about my trauma with my therapist so much that I don't even cry anymore. So girl, I know you cannot be that sad.
Do you think it's also part of like just to get that moment, or do you think she's, because it's also
some people were saying she has a personality disorder. I don't know, but she just cries a lot. She cried a lot this year, so good. So yeah,
let it out, but
let it out, honey.
You know, just
let it out. It's not like we have a choice. We have to see it anyway. Anyway, moving on to the Sailor Moon Award. This goes to an activist of the year, someone who has done as whatever they can to save the universe. And that goes to
who does it go to? I was the one.
Girl, you didn't write it down. You're the one that came up with it.
I thought so. He
came up with this one.
So this is, I mean, it's because obviously we want to do it on people who are still here, but I think you know, I learned about her, Cecilia Gentili. She's a trans activist who passed sadly this year. She's done amazing work for sex workers, and she's in the 1960s in the LA club scene. She was one to fight these like discrimination laws. They streamed her funeral, and the funeral was like such a celebration of life, and you saw people from all walks of life, and just to I was very moved to see people that I follow and I admire speak with so much respect and how sad and how much impact she had on their life. And I think it's, sad. I wish we could have, given her flowers when she was alive, but it seems like she had people that celebrated her and who were thankful, and she did
That's
amazing
really beautiful.
work.
Yeah, I had forgotten about her, honestly.
It was
And
all
she
over
passed away.
when she passed,
but
and a lot of people
I hadn't learned about her before.
we should give people their flowers when they're here. I wasn't aware of who she was, and I was made aware of her until she passed. And I'm happy that we had someone like her survived.
Yeah.
Because I remember, and this has also happened in Thanksgiving dinner, my uncles were sharing how the AIDS epidemic affected them, like at work, that they were telling like people were dying left and right and you didn't know why.
No, yeah.
And I thought this was like obviously a lot of people are in the closet, or there's that, and it doesn't only affect gay people, but I wasn't aware of this, and to see someone.
No, we lost a whole generation, so the fact that we didn't lose her,
we would have had more Cecilias. We would have had more the
generation that we lost that could have done so much for us. Yeah.
So,
but now we're here, and we get to carry that baton forward.
And hopefully we can use this platform to highlight those people and to bring awareness, and to somebody watching, that they could see people be themselves genuinely, or we try.
Right.
But we're here and we're not going anywhere. So.
All right. So next is Song of the Year.
Song of the Year. Oh my God, there's so many. I wanted to pick Chapelle Larona. Everybody was telling. I just keep hearing about her, and once I looked it up, I was like, oh, I've been listening to. I've been singing this song.
I love her.
White girl pop music is back. It's like It's like you thought you were getting Britney 2.0. It's different. It's new. It's innovative. She is a moment. I was between.
She's a queer white girl too. She's lesbian. Let's not forget that. All the great shit comes from us.
Yes.
So
she's amazing. She's killing it. I had and so that was, because I told you I was struggling between two songs. The other one was Espresso. As a coffee lover, I was just like, espresso martini. Everybody, I don't like espresso martinis.
Not espresso because you love espresso, girl. He doesn't even like the song. He's like, I just like coffee.
I love more.
He's like,
I just love what it's done for the coffee community, because like you get now espresso. Now you can get an espresso everywhere because people are making espresso martinis. So now they have an espresso machine at a bar. So now if I go to a restaurant, I can get an espresso in places that so I'm
leave it to Omar to make a song about coffee, about actual coffee.
So we want to thank her for her contribution, and those are my songs.
For me, I was struggling because there's this song I always recommend. Last time I recommended a song without words. This one has words, but it's like I love mellow music. It's like I love listening to music that's like mellow. This one's really beautiful. It's called I Will Leave the Light On by Le Youth, Lane 8 and Chill, JYLL. I don't know. It's a really good song though. The extended version, I love it. It just makes me feel so calm, and like it's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
But I also really love Soy Peor by Alexis Mugler. Alexis Mugler has really been rocking it. Have you listened to her shit?
No.
Alexis Mugler is a drag queen, a Mexican drag queen. She's gotten really famous. I'm pretty sure she was on
oh no, wait, I think I have.
She was in
La Más Draga?
La Más Draga.
Okay.
And she her music,
I don't want to confuse,
she's been making a lot of the one that paints her face white and black. She has like black her.
Yes.
She's been making a lot of really good music, and some of her music is like it's like it's so good.
I know that
He's Soy Peor. Have you heard it?
Yes. I was like, because there's a few there's lots of good music coming out from many drag queens, but I was getting them confused with someone else. But she's the one that paints herself, like it's almost like a kiss. That's the reference. That's how I can tell people.
It's really good. Her music is really good, so I like that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Chappelle Roan. Super graphic, ultra modern girl. Yeah. I love that song.
You know what I've heard?
So really, we ended up just picking a bunch of music because we couldn't decide.
But I heard that's an album that you can play from top to bottom, and no pause, no skips. That's what I heard. A lot of people.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm also like very picky.
Yeah.
So There's only a few albums that have gotten that from me. But anyway, moving forward, movie of the year.
Movie of the year. My top movie of the year was Dune.
Okay.
That's
pretty good.
I love sci-fi. I like how much like female characters there are in it, and how it's just different.
All
it's
the
fresh.
gays love female
I'm
characters.
done with like Star Wars and all these super like, so it's very refreshing and it's done so well, and I love the music. There's also this show called Prophecy. It's part of the Dune series, so I'm like all about it right
I saw
now.
an episode of that with my friend. Well, fuck buddy. Yeah.
And I told you about The Voice.
I mean, we did.
Like, follow.
You know how you have fuck buddies? I have one. Well, we haven't fucked as much as just cuddle. It's like a cuddle buddy. Dan, do y'all have that, straight people?
We do.
What do you call it? Situationship?
I would say more of a...
No, fuck buddy is what? It's for everyone, right? It's a
Dan's like, what the fuck?
Like, we fuck too.
But so yeah, I did. I watched it. It was cute. I fell asleep.
Yeah.
I was like, cuddling makes you fall
relaxing
asleep.
too.
Cuddling makes you fall asleep. And then for me, my movie of the year, you ask?
Yes, what is your
It's Wicked.
Wicked.
Wicked was obviously, I'm sorry to go with that. I wanted to go with like a more like, but Wicked was fucking fire. Like, I love that movie. I loved it. I think most people who went to see Wicked would go in there and they're like,
the nostalgia.
They go in there and they're like, oh, I'm not like these people. I don't treat people who are different like this. I don't act as disgusted as those people acted towards Alphaba.
But you do.
I don't say those things to people who are different than me. I don't treat different people like her dad treated her, or like the kids at school treated her. And it's like, that's actually the point, is that it's supposed to take all those things that you think, but you don't say, all the things that you like, all the things that you think, but you don't say, all the little things that you do towards people that you think are different or that you don't like, and it exaggerates them. But essentially, you are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not as loud about it. And so, like, yes, you are just as bad and you need to do better. And I think that's like, I think a lot of people will go in there and be like, oh, well, I don't treat people like that. And it's like, no, you do. You're not as loud about it. And the whole point is to work on the things that movie is like bringing out, like the issues that it's talking about. But I don't think people will get that. And I really think people need to, because like a lot of us are Golinda, not Alphaba. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like we said it at the beginning, but like, yeah, I just think that people need to be conscious, because like, just because you're not yelling at someone who's different, like, ew, you're black, or you're an immigrant, or like treating like someone in a wheelchair like they're a baby, like all of those things.
The more common are more subtle, and
it's
acceptable.
not okay. Just because you're not as loud does not mean that you're not as bad. You are. That's the whole point of the movie, is that you are just as bad, and we need to do better. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's a great message. And I think this is from what I understand, it's like it really holds up a mirror to society, and like
it does.
You know, but sometimes it's not what you say, it's also what you don't say when you see something.
Yeah. But anyway, I thought that movie was really cool. I love Alphaba. I think she's a Sagittarius, so I love me. Glinda's definitely a Libra.
Oh, there were so many moments that like I've seen clips, and
you need to watch it.
Yes,
it's amazing.
It's just that I was gonna watch it, but then it's like 2.5, 3 hours, and I was like, I had a lot going on. I've been having a lot going on, so I was like, I think I'm just gonna stay in.
But anyway, okay. So moving on.
Yes.
The last thing we have to say is words of wisdom.
Yes.
For the year.
Well, I wanted to ask you before we go on. I do have words of wisdom. Yeah, don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, like words of wisdom, like, so I don't know. It's I have so much to say, and I don't know, like, no, actually, no, that sounds like that's like everybody.
You can explain it. You can explain it, but you need to have like a liner.
No, I'll say words of wisdom. When people say follow your gut, like understand what that means. It doesn't what instinctively what you feel like doing, but it really just in your nature. Because sometimes your gut is gonna tell you not to do something, but no, it's because of fear. So you have to differentiate when you're not doing something because you're afraid versus when you're doing something because you feel like it's right.
Or when you're doing something because you're horny or because it's actually a good idea.
Exactly.
Because like maybe like yeah.
What?
Like do not maybe sometimes you should not do what you're about to do. You should not do the person you're about to do. And like you need to really just to figure out whether it's your gut or you're just horny, because those are two different things and you can get into a lot of trouble if you don't. Dan's shaking his head. He's like, yeah, that's like a universal problem, gay, straight. Like
we can all relate to that.
Yeah, for me, it's people will always. Oh, that was weird. People will. Did you hear that?
Yes, your stomach.
Like, no, it was up here. It was weird. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, my chest gargled. Just can you imagine? I'm like, I pass out.
Oh no.
People will always give you advice according to their own
agenda. No, I'm just kidding. Well, paranoid.
Shut up. People will always give you advice according to their own abilities and limits. And it's something I learned because every single time I tell somebody that I'm moving to LA, a lot of times I do get very like, oh, cool. Oh, shit, you're leaving? Okay. But a lot of times people are like, why? It's so expensive. I hate the people there. Like, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell y'all something. I'm a 33-year-old man. And maybe I'm venting a little bit here too. I'm a 33-year-old man.
33!
I pay my bills. Everything I have ever owned since I turned 17 and started working, I had to buy my own fucking school supplies, okay? Like, everything I fucking own, I bought.
All his life he had to fight.
Just kidding.
No, go.
But like, I know what I know what I'm doing. Do you think I look like a 10-year-old kid? I know LA's expensive. I know that. I know this is going to be...
He's aware there's fires, there's drought, there's earthquakes. He knows that.
I know that. And I know the men are fine ass too. One thing that I think I do want to say is like, if you feel like something is right for you, do it. Even if you fail or
find out you're wrong,
you'll find out on your own. Do not let people, because people will always tell you what to do according to what they can do, but they're not you. And I learned this also from my friend Ryan, because Ryan would always be like, people would tell him and he'd be like, I'm not asking you for your opinion. Like, I didn't ask you for your advice. I told you what I'm doing. And one of the things he told me, he was like, what's not possible for them is possible for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think is, so for example, this type of experience, do you think is what leads a lot of people to like why they say about like, don't talk about your goals? Because then you have that kind of chatter. Or do you think that's more for people who would be easily persuaded by others' opinions?
I think some people say it because they're like, you know, people get jealous and stuff, or they want to like tear you down. But for me, and sometimes I'm not saying that people don't mean it in a positive way. Sometimes they are trying to help you, but it's how you say it. But it's like for example, this one girl told me, she was like, she wanted to move to Chicago. And I was like, as long as you could deal with the cold, girl, go, because it's a great city. But like, did I mention the cold because it's something I don't like personally? Yes. Maybe she'll like, because I don't know if she like, you know, but I was like, but at the same time, I was like, girl, go. If that's where you want to live, go. And I don't like, a lot of times people will just be like, oh, that's gonna be hard, and it's like, no, bitch, it's hard for you. Yeah, I'm gonna make it work.
Hey, life is hard already, so
it's gonna
be hard.
Don't talk to me about failing, because if somebody had done when I started a podcast, I had comments too. There was this one guy who was
still have them.
I don't know. It just sounds like y'all are doing too much. Like, you're just complaining the whole time. Imagine if I had listened to him. Like, I was like, no, like, we're just going. Whoever's listening, just do what feels right. And if you make a mistake, you learned from it. You got to make a mistake. You had the privilege of making a mistake and you learned from it. Don't let these people who have their own limits limit you. What's possible for you might be impossible for them, and that's their problem, not yours.
And so actually, to that, like, I wanted to quote this drag queen. I can't remember her name, but it said to RuPaul, like, I understand your concern, but it's not my concern.
Exactly.
And she killed that. Oh, did she kill? I think she killed it in that.
Turns out she didn't.
She got eliminated.
Turns out he remembered wrong. But yeah, that's it. I do want to give you an award.
Oh my God.
Omar, today I present you with, I don't have anything.
Just
This one. I picked orange. Today I present you with the Flakiness Award.
flakiness.
Because you are one of the flakiest people that I've
when
ever
it comes
met.
to plants, yeah.
Literally, he's been like, I don't think I'm gonna go, and then he's out, and then he goes out. So Omar's flaky.
I've earned this.
Don't.
I've earned this. I've earned this. Yes. And
He'll be like, Omar will be like, yeah, I'm totally going out tonight, and he's like,
never
I'm
mind.
staying home.
And I'll say that and it's actually the advice. Like if I don't feel I know some people are like, if people cancel plans on me, I'm like, I don't get upset. I'm like, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Like I change my mind. Like and this is something I tell people, like whenever I make plans, especially when it comes to travel or other stuff, I'm like, today is a yes. And check with me 2 weeks before we start booking. Then I might be like, you know what? Maybe not Colorado.
Which
or
one do I
something.
get? I want to know mine.
Oh, it's like I don't know which route I want to go because I had so many. Actually, this is
I don't know if
it's
that's a
an
good thing or a
award.
bad thing.
I don't know if it's an award, but I'll have to say when you approach me to do the podcast, I'll give you the inspirational award number 1.
Aww.
Because I was like, to me, it just seems such a challenging thing to like, oh my God, do a podcast, you got to do this, and it seems like so much work. And
It is a lot of work.
and it is a lot of work. But you do. I mean, your heart's into it. The response that we've gotten has been really. So it's kind of like it's the conviction.
Well, we're doing it.
Yes,
But
and it's been great so far. I mean, obviously,
yeah.
I have my days where I'm like, I can't believe I said that or this or that. Or when people are like, I saw your podcast, I'm like,
People have approached you.
yeah. Well, not randoms. Not random people. Well, actually, people I follow on social media or stuff that that I've gotten that response, or people that I didn't think would be listening.
Me too.
And I
They
was like-
listen. There's some people who I swore hated me and that listens. They're like, I like your podcast. I'm like, really? Oops, I thought you hated me.
What's been your favorite moment from the podcast so far?
I think my favorite one has been actually when my favorite. No, I think my favorite move for the podcast this year was actually adding you.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, I love our chemistry. I love our chemistry. I think we can talk about anything forever. I love my
Sometimes
chemistry
it's a
with
problem.
Javi too. I think you guys balance me out. Like one day I'm with Javi, and then it's like it's like he's like my brother, and then I have you who has become such a good friend along the way,
Mhm.
and so it's a really great like dynamic. So I really loved when we included you. Like I think you're perfect for it. So yeah.
You know, my one of my favorite moments from the podcast was like, I think you showed me one of the comments, or like just seeing that feedback, and like it's very rewarding to like to know that some even like some people are like, oh, it's nice to hear like alguien bilingüe or cosas así. It's really nice to be like, sometimes our videos pop up and I get a little
yeah. And we have more to come.
Yes.
So thank you for listening, guys. This was a long episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. So thank you so much.
Thank
we love
you for
guys.
a great year of listening and letting
We
us...
have more coming next year for sure. I haven't been the best with everything going on, but according to my astrologer, this year it's gonna be lit. We're taking.
off.
Oh, one more thing I want to say because I always
Yes,
forget.
you asked me to remind you about something.
Bitch, I remembered. We are taking January off. I need January off. So expect the next episode in February. Catch up on the episodes if you haven't already. And we will see you in February.
Yes. And follow the clownery on our socials.
Yes. Follow our Instagram. You can find Javi and Omar linked on there, and myself too. All right. Thank you so
Bye.
much. Follow,
Thank you. Happy
subscribe,
New Year.
like, share, whatever. Bye.
Hello.
Oh, fucking hate you, piece of shit.
Cunt.